Looking a little wan. Well, hello. Welcome aboard, everybody. And here we are, back second Saturday Collage Jam of the autumn. As you know, we're alternating with Kim Lee Ko's virtual studio party. This is the virtual Collage Jam.
My goal this year, by the end of the year, you'll remember the name without
have Cal actually remember what her event is called. Husband doghouse time. So
are you Cal Honey, Cal?
I'm Cal Honey.
And I'm Kim Lee Ko.
And together, we are the virtual Collage Jam team.
We are.
A team of two.
And we're also the virtual studio party team.
Exactly.
But in reverse on alternate Saturdays.
But we just change our chairs.
That's right.
And you get a nice view. You get to see Kim for a change. And just hear me in the background. So, what have we got for you today? We have Thanksgiving as a theme. And because this weekend is Thanksgiving in Canada, and I know it isn't everywhere that this Collage Jam reaches. Hello, Jane. Welcome aboard. But I figured Thanksgiving, giving thanks, gratitude, it is the time of harvest, being grateful for that. Hello, Francoise, being grateful for the things in our life that we should be grateful for. And it's also could just be spun as an autumn themed thing. Or if you don't like any of those, just do your own thing, right? Because our prompts, our themes are always optional. Hey, Val. They're all saying hi, Kim, too. So
hi. I'm still not able to see your live.
Oh, well, Kim is going to be with us on the chat in a moment. Hello, Anne. Glad you can make it.
When I can find the live feed.
Yeah. Kim's having trouble finding the live feed. Hey, Tinley. Yay. We got some of the good peeps coming out. Hey, Slade. It says Slade, but it's Gerda. Is Slade along with you, Gerda? How are you, Gerda? It's, I don't know about you guys, but it is looking like it's about to thunderstorm. So I've got my fingers crossed that our power stays with us. Yeah, it's looking rather ominous here in Brampton. Hopefully not where you guys are. Hey, Susan, that's great. Yay. Susan Dane is joining us.
Yay.
And Annie, one of our troopers. Hi, Annie.
I'm still not seeing the live. I don't know what the problem is.
Try quitting your browser and relaunching.
Yeah. Okay.
This happens. One of the things we're going to work on in the not too distant future is being able to schedule in advance our events so that you can find them on YouTube before they go live. There's some reason we can't quite do that yet, right? So
yes.
Yeah, which we will fix in the not too distant future. Slade is resting. Has he been dancing his feet off?
There.
Yeah. All right. Kim is.
I switched browsers.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry. There we go.
So she can now engage with you guys on in the chat, which is great. So I think I'm just going to get going.
Excellent.
So I'm going to, why don't I show you what I have brought, and it is not for what I was thinking. It's kind of weird, but I just think I jotted down a few things that I was grateful for in this crazy year. Obviously, she's at the top of the list, right? Because ever since lockdown, we have been spending a lot of time in the house together, which we used to as a design team. And, you know, of course there were the occasional frictions, but we always got along and loved working together. And so
And living together.
And living together. We were under the same roof 99.9% of the time. I would go out for a bike ride or grocery shopping, and that would be about it. And then of late, up until lockdown, our schedules were very divergent, teaching different places. So coming back together has been a real blessing of an otherwise annoying and dangerous and frightening and uncertain situation. And then I was thinking, okay, it's autumn, and I'm grateful for the new harvest. So this apple stands in for that, and this is a picture that I just pumped up the contrast a little bit on. This is my favorite kind, which is Cortland, which are only really any good for about a month.
That long?
Because I have bought them in like late November and December, thinking, oh, I'll get one or two more, and then it's like it's all mealy, but they're great right now. So that is my stand-in for the harvest. And as you know, I did these signs for the things we were so grateful for. So I thought that's something I did. Maybe I could use those as collage. All the people who have been supporting us through the first round of lockdown and the imminent second one. This is kind of funny, but I printed out some Zoom logos because I'm very grateful that Zoom exists, video conferencing, because it's allowed us to teach, it's allowed us to create and have community. So I'm really happy for that. And this is a squash that I bought. I think I bought it. Yeah, did I buy it? Just this, just this shopping trip.
Friday.
Yeah, so it's one of those gray ones. I bought two squashes that I don't normally buy. I bought a Hubbard, but that's already been eaten. And I forget the name of this. It's very unappealing in terms of its color, but oftentimes that can be deceptive. So to find out whether it's good.
I hope it's tasty.
I bet it will be because it's fresh, right? So I'm going to try and make something with those that is sort of a personal gratitude / seasonal thing.
I love that you're wearing a shirt that's more or less the color of a pumpkin pie.
Yes, so Kim is on day 7 of a extreme low carb diet. How many calories are you eating a day?
Oh, I don't even want to talk about it.
Okay, she doesn't want to talk about it. But so she sees that and thinks, pumpkin pie. That's like a pumpkin pie. Oh, actually, it was this that she saw. But yeah. She's I'm
going to make myself a special custom-made pumpkin pie.
She's definitely craving carbohydrates, which is what her diet is cutting out, but complex carbohydrates and simple carbohydrates, basically. All right. Anyway, why don't you let me know what people are saying?
Well, let's see what.
Yeah, because
hi.
Yeah.
Rebecca is there with Kirk.
Hey guys.
Kirk's sister-in-law, Aileen.
Wow.
So that's very nice.
Aileen?
Aileen. It's a letter A, not an E-I.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hi, Aileen.
And Annie says, I am grateful for the two of you.
Oh.
I know, mushy. You can be mushy anytime.
Oh, absolutely. Annie. We are mushy friendly because we are too. We're hopelessly mushy sometimes. So,
especially Cal.
Yes, I am. I am.
He's a lovely mushy guy.
Guilty as charged.
Sherry says,
hey, Sherry.
I am grateful for our virtual collage jams. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yes. Welcome aboard, Sherry.
And
nice to have you back.
It's Alin.
Alin. Okay, great.
Not Aileen.
Right.
So there we go. Thank you for the correction, Rebecca.
Rebecca, Kirk, and your sister-in-law, we're all in.
Oh, my God. Let the games begin, everybody.
Sorry, Alin.
He can't help himself.
Yes, it's pathological.
Yeah.
and pathetic. All right. I don't even know where to start, so I'm just going to lay them out so I can see them. A few of them I did in black and white and in color so that I'd have the option.
That's nice.
And who knows? I brought some gouache.
I love those little bottles.
To play with, thinking, oh, if I collage some black and white, I could do a little hand coloring or color altering. We'll see whether I get to that.
And for the first time ever, we're live streaming a portion of this Collage Jam on Instagram right now, in fact.
The only reason we're doing that is because Tech Goddess over there has got her.
I've got so many devices and things around.
Oh, and
me
you should see the high-tech system she's got to hold up her camera. Hold up her iPhone. There it is. Full of duct tape core. Or packing tape, I think. Pretty funny.
It's actually wide painter's tape. I used it up yesterday or the day before. So, yeah. We try to stay on the leading edge here at Kim and Cat's Studio.
We are an interesting blend of very high tech and very low tech bootstrappy kind of stuff. So
necessity.
Yes.
So for anyone joining us on Instagram Live, welcome to the virtual Collage Jam, which has been webcasting live from YouTube since shortly after lockdown in March or April.
Yeah, I think my very first one was on March 30th.
Right, the end of March. And for the first time ever, I am live streaming it on Instagram. And so this is Cal Honey you're seeing on screen.
Hello. Welcome aboard, Instagrammers.
And I'm Kim Lee Ko, and whose channel you're viewing this on. So presumably you know who I am.
I'm now one of those people who has to look at that camera, look at this camera.
It's okay. You don't have to be self-conscious about it.
No, I can't be.
Yeah. So I know anyone in Ontario is under modified lockdown stage 2. So I think a lot of Thanksgiving plans have either been completely canceled or severely modified. I know ours have. I was just on the phone with my mother this morning explaining that we would not be at her place this weekend.
Yes, she was hoping that we would be.
Yeah.
Understandably.
Yeah, but also understandably, we don't want to risk her and her housemate. So
yeah, they've been a little slow off the mark this time, I think, compared to the spring.
Yeah, given the numbers are worse than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Worse than started the lockdown in March, but anyway, let's get away.
We're not going to talk about that exactly.
No. This is our happy place.
All right, happy place.
This is our happy place.
Happy place. Happy place. Happy place.
Let's stay.
Yeah,
happy.
Exactly. So, what's everyone working on? What have you got cooking? Have you? Are you working with the theme? Or are you working on something else? Are you chilling? Have you any sort of plan B creative kind of Thanksgiving plans? That's a lot of questions.
That's a lot of questions.
Yeah,
One question at a time.
Yeah.
So let's reiterate.
What are you working on?
Yeah, that's a good one. For those of you who are working on something, there's no obligation, of course.
Absolutely.
You can just chill out, hang out, chat if you're inclined to.
Are you chilling? Are you working? Are you playing?
I quite like this little phone stand. It fits really snugly and it's secure.
And it's reasonably secure, isn't it?
And it's stable.
Yeah.
So Ann Wills says she's obsessively cross-hatching.
Oh, I've
great.
created a monster, haven't I, Anne? Well, I really enjoy that sort of color cross hatching too. So, I presume it's the color cross hatching that you were doing in Autumn Garden. So let me know, but that would be my guess.
All right, we've got some more responses. Françoise. Hi, Françoise.
Hey, Françoise.
She says, I have a basket and the word thanks, but don't know where I'll go next.
Right.
That's a good starting point.
Yeah, a basket is perfect for autumn harvest or autumn bounty. Bounty is the word I was looking for.
Bounty. Plenty.
The quicker picker-upper. Wait.
Please don't.
Oh, I know.
Rebecca says Kirk is cross-stitching, of course.
Right. That's a sort of cross-hatching, too. You and Ann Wills should get together and and hatch something.
She says she's actually finishing her illusion collage.
Oh, right.
From
last
2 weeks ago. And Alin is working on this theme.
Oh, cool.
Great. Val says, still waiting for inspiration to hit. She's been in a bit of an art slump lately.
Yeah, and so Val and I have had a little chat on Instagram, and I actually also put it on the virtual collage jam. And she was saying, you know, she's sorting materials, not feeling inspired, but she was like figuring out, looking at what she had as far as collage materials and organizing them. And this is a really important thing to realize, that while we love the creative buzz, right? Like when you're cooking, we all, right? You're in that zone and it's so exciting and interesting. You're not there all the time, and it's unreasonable to expect to be, which we do of ourselves. We expect to be able to do it great the first time, and we also expect it to be to always be able to turn that on like a faucet whenever we want it.
I think our culture expects it, whereas nature, and there are cycles, there are cyclical seasons, rhythms, there are tides,
exactly,
there are waves,
wax and wane, and exactly.
Sun rises, the sun sets, but it comes back again.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. It's actually really valuable to give yourself permission to just do the doop-de-doo kind of stuff. Like, okay, well, not feeling it today, but I still want to be some part of being an artist. So this desk needs cleaning up, or I need to prime some panels, or I need to sort my collage materials, or maybe they don't need sorting, or I need new ones, right? I've got this pile of stuff, and wouldn't it be great if I could lay my hands on it more easily? So sorting it, and that lays the groundwork for later success, because you are, first of all, you're looking at it, you're doing more creative work than you think, because you're seeing it and you're handling it.
Yeah. And
it's going into your eyes and into the back of your head, and
it's just on simmer.
3 days boil. 3 days or 3 weeks later, it'll be like, oh yeah, I put that thing in the yellow drawer. That's exactly what I need right now. And so it benefits you later, and it also primes the pump for later. So so be at peace with it, and know that the creative muse will return, and it will return faster if you start setting the table for it, right? If you start like,
oh, I like that. Start setting the table for it. That's a beautiful way to express that idea. Yeah.
It's a copywriter we used to work with, Peter Levensold, used to use this analogy. He said, and he was a really good writer.
Top notch.
Yeah, like exceptionally good. Every time when we did a marketing project, every time I read his copy, I'd be like really excited to design it because, wow, you've sold me on this so convincingly. This sounds like something I really need, and even if it wasn't. But he used to say that he used a metaphor of a cobbler, and he said, I get out the leather, I get out my tools, I arrange them, I don't do any cutting, I don't do any making, I just put them in the right place and handle them and think about them, and then I go to bed. And when I come down in the morning, there's a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And anyone who's
based
ever
on a fairy tale, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's really true that if you put in the spade work and then you give your mind a break, you'll come back and you'll have all these thoughts that are building on those things that you thought were nothing. And Kim and I write course descriptions, and we have to write artist statements and all of that stuff. And I don't know, I agree with Hemingway about writing is like sitting at a typewriter and bleeding. But one thing I found is like, just write crap. And I have all these ideas and they don't have an order, and I can't even write a straight sentence. And then the next day you look through it and doesn't always work like this, but oftentimes then you take another kick and it's like, okay, came together just fine, right? So that's exactly the creative process in a nutshell, isn't it?
It is.
But I've been yakking, and tell me what tell me what they're saying, and I'll try and.
He's obviously in good form today.
I'll try and do some collaging.
Tinley says, chilling at the moment, working later, touching up some spray paint.
Ooh, so
because she has a studio, right?
Right,
so
right.
She's not probably at home right now.
Is it can air spray?
Spray paint.
Can spray paint, I presume. And did you buy any Frisket, or are you using anything for masking, or because that was something we had been talking about earlier?
Okay, yeah. Good. Ricky's here.
Yay! Welcome aboard, Ricky.
She says, "Hi, Kim and Cal. Happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends who are celebrating it next week. Well, this weekend actually, but the celebrations are a little subdued.
Yeah,
thank you so much,
thank
Ricky.
You.
That's lovely." Cherie says, I just finished a multimedia pair of koi fish, I guess, on handmade paper, caught in onion bag mesh, named Catch of the Day 1 and 2. I'll post them on the site. Sounds
that
really
sounds
nice.
Great. And those certain produce bags are really amazing. The colors and how some they all have different weaves. Kim's got boxes of them downstairs because I
have clear shoe boxes.
This box is full of the green meshes, and this box full of the yellow meshes, and this one's full of the orange ones. And she doesn't know what she's going to do with them, but she knows she's going to do something with them.
Well, I use them for a variety of things already.
You actually have been.
Yeah, I've made textiles out of them, and I've used them in gel plate and embedded them in paintings, and so yeah, I love having the color-coded system. I suppose unless I dream up a big idea, I should probably make my collections more compact. But you know, Alice Berloni is here.
Hey, Alice, welcome aboard.
She says, I am late, but happy I can join for 1 hour. Smile.
Great. Yeah. An hour is way better than none, right?
Yeah, seriously. Exactly. You're giving yourself taking
a little break and
a little dose of something nice. Cherie says she's starting a woven collage using 2 images, a man bearded and then clean shaven. This idea was inspired by a collage website.
That's fun.
That's a great basis for thinking about something like a weaving structure, which is two different states of the same thing, or the same thing in different color scheme, or the same thing in a different position, or thinking about what's the same and what's different between the two, the warp and the weft, I guess. Tinley says, no frisket yet, working on my can control and on my balcony, studio tomorrow.
Right, yeah. Something I like doing with spray cans is just using a handheld mask. It can be as simple as a straight edge or a curved edge or a simple shape, and just holding it up. And I love playing with laying it flat gives you the crisp, and then lifting it
for a soft edge.
Softer edges, yeah, exactly. And then you can also have like a sharp edge on one side and a faded edge on the other by putting the mask on a diagonal against the like that. Yeah, exactly.
Tinley's watching both streams. That's awesome.
That's hilarious.
I love it. Oh. Gerda says, I sorted out my paintings, identifying half a dozen that needed something taken away or added. I've finished 3 so far, submitted one of them to an exhibit, and I was accepted.
Wow, congratulations. Yay!
Yeah. Well done, Gerda.
Yeah.
Val writes, those mesh bags also make great scrubbers for pots and pans. Just tie a few together. For sure.
That's a great idea. Of course they would.
Those nylon scrubbies are basically a variation on that, right?
But what an environmentally...
Well, and you could actually put soap inside.
Totally.
A few layers of that, and then you'd have a built-in soap source.
Right.
Hey, Elaine is with us.
Hey, Elaine, welcome aboard. Yay. How are you doing?
She says, hi, you two wonderful humans, with a kiss emoji. Aw. Kisses back at you, Elaine. There's so many lovely people here today, Cal. Isn't that nice?
We're very blessed.
I'm feeling very grateful for that.
Yes, that is exactly right.
Tinley says, good tips. I'll try those. Thank you. Yeah, he's quite something to watch with the whether he's using spray cans or the airbrush, which he prefers, but he does some beautiful effects. So I'm probably next year I'm gonna I did do some airbrush before my Heart Space show
last summer, right? You did a
that's right, it was in the summer.
It was for that
preparing
musical
for the
event.
Wondershare event. Yeah, musical event where I dressed the stage. That was very interesting, playing with the airbrush.
Except because Kim likes to work at a large scale generally. Even if her canvas is small, works big, right? So the airbrush is more of a precision kind of thing. Like it sprays, but it's more of a precision kind of thing.
I need a broadcast.
She needs like a like a fire department type.
Well, I think a high volume, low pressure, aka HVLP sprayer would do well, because that's used for spraying furniture finish. I've been coveting one of those since about the year 2000, so it's only been 20 years. That's, it's been on my shopping list. Elaine writes that she's working on her website with one eye and ear on the K&K show. Oh. Yes. Doing a little pan of the tabletop here on Instagram. There we go. to be the apple of your eye.
You are the apple of my eye, and I've had that thought already. I've been very disciplined in not saying it out loud.
Oh. Okay. Well, Rebecca appreciates your puns. Bless her. Jane Laster Gordon says, just playing with artwork my children and I did this time of year when we were all tots, seeing if I could come up with some type of collage. Oh, that's a lovely idea.
Can you read that again? Well, I didn't quite follow the...
So artwork, she and her children has done it in this season, this time of year.
Yeah.
But all from their own childhoods.
Right.
So her childhood and their childhood.
Right, that's lovely.
Ooh, there's a bird fight outside in the shrubbery.
Oh, yeah?
That was quite the...
little kerfuffle?
Yeah, it was quite the kerfuffle. I'm not sure what they were disputing there, but now they're well buried in our... We have barberries that could eat people. They're so enormous and dense. The birds love them. Also, they're full of little red berries right now, so between the cover and the berries, they're happy little bird apartment complexes. Oh, they're still at it. Wow.
I'm seeing the movements, but not the full deal.
I'm not quite getting a good enough view to be able to say what species they are, because I know at least Elaine in this group would be interested in knowing.
I was in my studio several days ago working, and I heard the tap, 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 and I looked out the window, and we have basically a decomposing awning, but it's metal and cloth. And there was a woodpecker tapping away at one of the cloth-bound metal rods. Maybe there's some bugs like crawling underneath it or whatever, and then another woodpecker showed up and started tapping, and then they got too close, and the other one are like, no, this is mine. And like they had this like 3 feet away from me, had this like kerfuffle over who gets the bugs.
Who gets that metal pipe?
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty funny, but also like really lovely to see them.
Yeah, so close. That's great. Cherie, you'll appreciate this, Cal. Cherie says, they are angry birds.
They are indeed.
Without us even having to play them. I just got an urge to draw the folds in your t-shirt there, Cal. Looks really good. From my angle. Lane asks about those woodpeckers. Were they downy woodpeckers?
They weren't pileated. They were one of those two modestly sized ones. Downy, hairy.
Where was the red? On the back of the head or on the top of the head? Did they have red?
I'm sure they did, but I didn't see much of it.
Oh, okay.
So,
or was it yellow?
It might have been at the back of the head, because I think I sort of noted that there was a little bit, but the overwhelming noticing was the black and white, obviously.
Because they were facing in.
Facing in, yeah. So
Rebecca says they tap for communication too.
Ooh. I didn't know that.
She said, we saw a northern flicker woodpecker on the other day on our walk. Flickers are gorgeous.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
So unusual looking.
I'm only used to seeing those further north, but
I saw one that unfortunately that was dead years ago, and I was just amazed at the colors in its feathers.
Yeah,
like that you didn't notice right away. But because I was able to look at it up close, I was able to see it. Oh, so beautiful. Ricky asks, is that a picture of Kim you're cutting, Cal?
It is indeed. These are the things I'm thankful for this year, which you may not have been with us when I ran through them. So squash and apples to be harvest, and that's my favorite kind of apple, Cortland. And Kim, I'm always grateful for. So I've got a few Kims.
A lot of me, apparently.
I have a few Kims. And then I also did these signs you'll remember from the spring, perhaps, that are thank you signs for all the different services that have helped us and continue to help us through COVID. That's a form of gratitude as well. So, and kind of strangely, but Zoom, because we've been creating community and teaching, making our livelihood. And if COVID had happened 10 years ago,
yeah,
we
would have been out of luck.
Yeah, but as such, I mean, YouTube also and Instagram also, right? But
Zoom
has been a biggie.
Elaine suggests that they might have been downy woodpeckers or hairy. The hairy are larger.
Yeah, so these were pretty small. Now, if it's only a matter of like an inch between the two, I couldn't say, but these guys were, I would say,
6 inches?
6 inches, maybe 7.
That doesn't sound as small to me. When you said small, I imagined like 4 inches. Rebecca asks how big.
Well, there you go.
And Elaine agrees that flickers are so beautiful.
Yeah, they're all these like understated colors, and then they have yellow, like shots of yellow and black, and there's a little bit of red somewhere too. I think
quite amazing.
Yeah,
it's sort of it's like how surprising a wild brown rabbit is.
Yeah, because
of when you're up close to the fur,
you realize that what looks like a universal color is actually made up of this complex of like grays and browns and blacks and whites.
Not as colorful as a flicker, obviously, which has real colors in it, but it's still much richer than the generalized impression.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky says in response to your description, "Oh, so sweet." Rebecca says, downy and hairy look almost identical except size. Both males have red on the back of their head. Spotted breast, red on the back of the head. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah, thank you.
So
she is our go-to species girl.
Yeah, well, and Elaine, yes,
Elaine is as well. So
yeah, I think, yeah. Spotted breast is flicker. Sorry. There we go. Well, I'm glad you jumped in and corrected yourself, because Elaine might have felt compelled to come on and correct you. That's great. That's one of the things I love about our backyard is insanely leafy, has way too many trees for the size of property. The shrubs are huge and all running together, and it makes the backyard extremely shady, but it's fantastic habitat for the birds, and we're only a block away from a creek, so the birds like to be here. Of course, proper bird people would have all kinds of feeders up so that they can watch them. We just watch them flit around.
We have, upon occasion, been organized enough to
put out some suet. In the winter, yeah.
That's about the extent of it.
You're putting glue on my actual face. This is interesting.
I am.
Oh. Just never know what he's going to get up to. Reminds me of the piece I was collaging myself yesterday in my mixed media book. Except mine was a lot like a bigger version of that, and the paper was completely saturated, so it kept trying to tear.
It was trying to do its own thing. Yeah.
Fibers were like, okay, we give up.
Kim's always testing the limits of material.
Yeah. I tested the limits of my parents, and then I went on to test the limits of art supplies. Elaine writes, saw 2 red-breasted nuthatches this morning on my walk. Bet you get lost. Red-breasted nuthatches. Okay, I have to get out my bird book now.
We have great habitat for birds, but it's very dense. So unless they're at the edges of the habitat where we can see them,
they have to emerge.
Yeah, exactly.
Or we get lucky or whatever.
Yeah.
One of the things we loved when we moved to this place was discovering there was a very successfully breeding cardinal pair. And so successful that the neighborhood ended up becoming populated with masses of cardinals. But the matriarch from when we moved here was so mangy. You just couldn't believe that he could be such a successful breeder, but he really was.
He always looked like he was like, oh, that's got to be his last winter. And this went on for like 5 winters or something. Right. It was like, I don't know how long cardinals live, but he lived longer than you'd expect.
Yeah, he was a venerable old bird. Okay, I have to look up nuthatches now. Let me see what to catch up on the... Rebecca, having plants that provide food is just as good or better for birds. Yeah, well, we have too many hawthorns. We have crab apples. The barberries they eat. Some of the birds eat the yew berries.
Definitely, they eat the yew berries.
Yeah, and we used to have shrubs that had white berries that are now trying to grow back, even though they removed them because they were not really attractive at all. But
I remember as a kid being told not to eat those yew berries because
they're so beautiful.
They are. They're so like stunningly beautiful.
Yeah.
I heard a on a podcast I was listening to, I think, and the host said that all mushrooms.
That's like the kind of thing they say at on a nature walk, you know. I can imagine in a wilderness lodge kind of thing. It brought back a memory when I was a teenager of going to a wilderness lodge, very remote. I think you had to fly in northern Manitoba, and God, it was a great place. Anyway, I was there as a guest of the owners, and they jackalope mounted like a hunting trophy on the wall, and with a perfectly straight face. Our friend who was hosting us was telling me all about, who's a mature Ojibwe man, telling me with a straight face all about the habitat and habits of the jackalope and all this stuff. And of course, it's.
Did you know at the time that it was?
It took me a few minutes to catch on. I was quite gullible, which gave him no end of delight. Well, and why wouldn't I believe him, right? Oh, yes. I'm sure I have seen red-breasted nuthatches, Elaine. I don't usually notice their rosiness, but the head is very familiar with that lovely stripe. Rebecca says, we had 2 red-breasted nuthatches on the tree outside our window this morning. How lovely.
Wow.
It's just wonderful watching birds. Little animals of all kinds. My mother just got a new kitten. And when I spoke to her this morning, she's just full of pleasure and delight. Even though he sounds quite unruly. Because, of course, he's a kitten, not a trained-up cat.
Do you think your mother will be successful at training it?
It's hard to imagine that she would be, but I did suggest to her that she start if she wasn't already, she start watching some YouTube videos on training cats.
Because I can well imagine her not, but I don't want to...
Yeah, let's just say that from my personal experiences and observations over a lifetime, she wouldn't be my prime choice for a trainer of animals. But the fact that she's getting pleasure from this one is wonderful.
Yeah. So diplomatically put, eh?
Just hope he doesn't turn into a clothing eating cat like my friend Diana's brother had a Siamese
that ate clothing.
Well, our mutual friend Jeffrey had just come back from London, England. This is teenage years, or late teens, early 20s. He'd just come back from London, England with brand new Burberry trench coat to visit his dear old, and they had a lovely visit and went to leave and reached for his coat, and a big chunk had been chewed out of it by the cat.
Wow.
He was not best pleased. And I wouldn't bring it up to this day. I would not bring it up with him in conversation. Cherie says, tell me it was a knockoff. Cherie, it was so far from being a knockoff. Yeah. It was the genuine article, and that was because that's Jeffrey.
Was
yeah, Jeffrey all over, and it would yeah. It was a coat that mattered to him especially. Ricky asks what happened to the cat. Well, the cat went on to live a full life. Yeah. Yeah.
Because Diana obviously managed to save it from Jeffrey.
Well, I think if memory serves, I think the cat had to be sealed up in a room whenever Jeffrey came to visit, but to protect his any garments. I don't know, it's amazing how animals can sense the one thing they definitely shouldn't go near or touch or person that they shouldn't jump into the lap of or whatever, and that's the one they'll zoom in on. Yeah, he was quite a character, that cat. He had an unmistakable call. I won't call it a meow because it wasn't a meow. It was more of a howl. Ooh. Things are getting interesting. That's nice. Presumably Jim at Inkade joined us.
Oh, hello, Jim.
I don't know if he's still with us, but I'm going to leave a little.
Yeah. Kim is manning the
Instagram
and the chat. So while you're seeing me, you can hear her. Say hello, Kim.
Hello. I know I disappointed you because I didn't say hello, Kim.
You didn't. You did not.
That harkens back to George Burns and Gracie, I think. When he'd say goodnight, Gracie. I think that's how it went.
Right.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Right. That does sound old style comedian.
That could be us. When this COVID thing's over, we could be in the Catskills. We'll get our act worked out.
Day.
For years in a life.
Yeah, that's it. My cat skills are not very good.
Mom's working on hers.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, Heather Hess is with us.
Hello, Heather.
And she says, I'm a bird photographer and was trying to send you my favorite picture of a northern flicker. Yes, Heather, I'm afraid that the YouTube chat they've designed it so that it is, unless you are the person broadcasting, even I can't put a link in the chat or attachments. And unfortunately, it's because of the bad behaviors of others. You know, this is why we can't have nice things syndrome.
Yeah.
Because people were spamming chats and putting pornography in chats and God knows what else. So so as a result of those people, we don't get to share links that we'd all enjoy seeing or photographs or whatever. So thank you for trying to share it. If you're a member of Cal's virtual Collage Jam group on Facebook, you could share it there. You can share images in that Facebook group.
That's right. That's a perfect place to do so, and then
we'd love
the
to see
community
it.
can see it, including Kim and I.
Yeah.
So that would be great. What else is going on in chat? So what has anyone got any creative plan Bs for your Thanksgiving weekend? Obviously, large gatherings or really gatherings beyond family are a problem.
You're just supposed to stick to your own household.
Right, but that doesn't mean that you can't do something
in your household.
Within your household, exactly.
We could all put pumpkins on our heads.
We would need the pumpkins.
Well, you see, we could hollow them out for the pie.
Right.
And do it just right so that the skin remains intact.
Ah.
And there's just enough flesh left
to
give the skin some support.
It sounds like a plan for a little later in the month, actually.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Heather adds, maybe someone would like to paint it. I bet someone would. Yeah.
Yes.
What a lovely idea, Heather.
Yeah. Or collage it.
Yes, we do synchronize.
We get that sinking feeling sometimes.
We do. You just love your colored collage drawers, dear.
I do.
Yeah. It's a source of joy, isn't it?
Well, for instance, these were going nowhere fast until I reached in and got a piece of painted paper that I done from something else. And as soon as that came along, it's becoming a little more interesting. I'm not saying it's anywhere there yet, but that page that I had done, I think it was for a class at some point, is actually coming in very useful to sort of animate and activate, to give a contrast to what I've got going on here.
At next week's virtual studio party, I'm going to share my we were speaking earlier about organizing materials and supplies and so on. I've been an organization of my basics paints that I use for a lot for printmaking and teaching. And I'm beyond thrilled with what I've come up with. So I can't wait to share it.
Yeah, Val. So be sure that you tune in and see what Kim does to.
I think lots of
absolutely,
because we're all dealing with some level
challenge. Exactly, yeah. It's true.
Yeah. Okay, Heather Hess says, I don't know what Facebook to put it on. So there's a group. If you go on the search bar, Heather, that's called Virtual Collage Jam.
Yeah, or Virtual Collage Jam group, but
yeah, Virtual
and
Collage
it's on
Jam
my
group.
page, which is if you
go to the Cal Honey Art page.
Yeah, three words.
Honey Art, 3 words.
Yeah.
Page, and then look for groups under that page. That will show up as one of Cal's groups.
Yeah, and in the new Facebook interface, the groups are a little bit hard to find.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
then the search bar might work better.
Yeah, maybe.
So try it either way, Heather.
Yeah.
But it's called Virtual Collage Jam Group. Much appreciated, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ricky says, yes, the painted page really, really opened a door.
Yeah, it's.
I'm a big proponent of giving yourself an activated ground, which that painted page is an example of, because, it's too easy to slide into starving yourself as an artist, which is to say, not giving yourself anything to respond to. By digging into the drawers or the piles or the boxes, whatever you have, for stuff that already has some material on it, and just sort of flipping through it, it's amazing how the creative brain will start getting up ahead of steam. Chinley says, I have to run. It's been nice to hang out with you both again.
Thank you so much. Good to see you back, and hopefully we'll see you next weekend for Kim's event.
Oops. Oh, there we go.
Some more. Okay.
If you're just joining us on Instagram Live, this is Cal Honey's Virtual Collage Jam, and I am his co-pilot, Kim Lee Ko, whose account you're seeing this on. And this happens every 2 weeks, alternating with my virtual studio party as YouTube live streams on our respective YouTube channels. God, I feel like a radio announcer, Pause for this little message. Pause for a station ID.
And both events are opportunities to hang out with other artists, listen to Kim and I chat, ask us questions or comment.
Yeah.
And
we chat back and forth between
exactly.
The live chat and us.
Yeah, and just to see what we're doing and make some stuff yourself. And we're continuing. Yeah.
Jane asks that you hold up what you're working on.
All right. So
you did hold that up to show the painted ground, but maybe she missed it.
Yeah. So this is as far as I've got so far, which is not very far, but I'm now thinking about next steps. And I was really getting locked into the images, which I always have to get beyond the beautifulness or the pristineness And so I just started randomly cutting things out, and then I ended up doing like a little micro side project to get me going, which was this thing, which was just playing with flipping over, cutting out lips and glasses, and then seeing some interesting opportunities.
Can you hold it up?
Yeah, there you go, guys.
Yep. Great.
And that is the other one in progress. And so I don't know where it's going, but we'll see.
When you said I don't know where it's going, I was thinking, first of all, well, that's a good place to be.
Yep.
And secondly, I was thinking, because you're the map maker, not the map follower.
Right.
Right.
I'm the cartographer rather than the, well, I explore too, so.
Jane says, cool, thanks.
You're welcome, Jane. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
I sometimes forget to hold things up, and so
But
hold me accountable when I don't hold things up.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's good to have Jane here.
Yeah.
It's funny, I was just reading today about sort of cultural hallmarks of Dutch people and their forthrightness at the expense of tender feelings,
right.
Sometimes, right, is one of the key hallmarks. And it's true of my own family on the one side, which the older generation of which grew up as in a Dutch colony,
right,
when it was Dutch.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think some of that rubbed off.
So it feels like I've got this autumnal thing going on. So who knows whether that's a good idea, but I'm just going to try it because it's collage. If it doesn't work out, what can I do? Glue over it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do things that are counterintuitive. And sometimes that will work great. Sometimes it won't. Oops.
I'm going to bring the Instagram feed to an early end.
An early end, okay.
So thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for
joined us.
Stopping along.
If you want to join us for the final half hour, just go to Cal Honey's channel on YouTube, KAL, and then honey like the sweet stuff, because I think it will help our feed to YouTube.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. See ya. Thanks.
Annie writes, streaming isn't very good today. Constantly buffering. Have a great Thanksgiving. See you next time.
Oh, well, thanks for trying, Annie. And yeah, maybe it's the weather. Maybe it's just a lot of people suddenly indoors, right? So,
well, given that we're on modified lockdown,
yeah,
I bet the demands on the internet are
just went
massive.
up a lot between yesterday and today, and it's a Saturday, so it's a weekend. So yeah. So thanks for trying, and you can always catch the last bit on the replay if you so desire. But we appreciate your coming out, Annie.
Gerda said the same thing, so she says bye for now.
All right, see you, Gerda. I'm sorry that the internet didn't want to play along with us as well as it usually does.
Rebecca says she thought the Instagram was interfering with the YouTube feed because it's fine now. So
yeah, so if anyone
that's sort of the sense I was having, so that's why I brought it to a halt.
Yeah, so if anyone is still inclined to stay with us but has been having trouble with the internet or with the streaming, it may improve now. So
yeah, sorry about that for any ill effects.
Oh, it was this one that I was thinking of. Okay. Huh.
That was a happy little sound.
It was.
We need a major fiber optic pipeline fed to our house. Handle all of our
the
internet webcasting needs. And
with doing all the stuff that we have started since lockdown, all the online and the interesting learning about it and all of that, we've been thinking, oh, we could do this from anywhere, and wouldn't it be great to be like somewhere less densely urban and so on. And of course that's true, it would be, but
the
internet is it's like we want to be remote but with like urban internet, right? So yeah, so let's see about that.
Cherie says, just a burping feed. Clear now.
Oh, good. Yay.
I'm delighted to hear it.
Yes.
She adds that the band at her cottage is 2 bars at best.
Right.
Oh, that must get frustrating sometimes, right? Rebecca says, yep, it's back to high def and no longer freezing or cutting audio.
All right. Well, live and learn.
Ricky has an excellent artistic question for you.
Fire away, Ricky.
She says, can you say, right? She has, can you say why you had second thoughts about the apple?
On the piece I'm working on currently, I think it may just come in later. I haven't given up on it. So I was thinking that maybe over here, like just a little sliver of it. It's a nice scale change between the very large squash and a smaller circular thing. And then I was thinking, oh, well, let's think about the apple. And that definitely, I mean, it's red, right? So it does that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I haven't actually given up on it yet. I'm just sort of holding it aside while I think about some other things. For me anyway, I find that while I want my creativity to be more linear than it isn't. Right? I think, and I don't know why, like, it would be just much tidier if it went from point A to point B in a very linear way. But I find that it's
not the nature of creativity.
It is not the nature of creativity. It is multiple dead ends, multiple interesting cross weaves, leaps and scoops and unexpected connections.
You have to take side trips in order to
advance
the main trip.
And I can remember thinking in my design in my design career, when time was very pressurized, that I just need to get to the end as fast as possible. And so I would say I can't afford to like go down that, to try that, because it might not work, and if it doesn't work, I'll be screwed for timing. And that was the thing that I hated about design. But
that's what led to burnout.
Yeah, but the fact is, sometimes even if you go off on that sidetrack and then you
make a leap.
Like if I'm saying that's where I need to go and I'm trying to go this way, creatively that doesn't work, but I might actually get there faster if I go over there and see it from a different point of view and then come get at it. Or it may actually be several turns. And I've got on the table here, I've got a bunch of things that will be dead ends. And that's fine. Like that's the nature, not even dead ends as much as leads, as much as I look at something and I may put it aside for later or for never, but it makes me think, oh, well, not yet, or not that right now because of this, and et cetera, et cetera. So
it was part of the melange that helped you sort through.
Exactly. It's an interesting thing, like something that you decide not to put into a collage or a piece of art of any kind might have good reasons to be in, but but it doesn't work. And so then it makes you go, okay, so why didn't it work? Or why every time I go to put it in, it doesn't work, or it doesn't seem right. That gives you insight as to, okay, well, that's not working, so maybe I have to try something different than that. And why, if you can sort of suss out why it's not working, oh, because it's like the wrong color or too dark or the wrong kind of feeling or whatever, then it's like, okay, but what would be the right kind of color value feeling? So it all counts. So you may remember that I sort of laughed with pleasure earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, the signs that I did a printout of, my thank you signs. And I just thought, why are they here? Well, they're here because it's about the year, right? And about gratitude. And I looked at them and I thought, oh, with this? I don't know. I don't think so. But then I had the idea, I thought, I've got a row of them, right? And each one in my design has thank you along the bottom. Thank you in capitals. And I just thought, so perfect. Cut it in along the bottom. And then it's like, thank you, 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 which to me, that makes me happy. So now I don't know whether it's going to ultimately find its way in or not, but it's a way in which it's not the sign so much anymore as it's thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Message.
And you can tell enough that it's come from some other purpose, which is kind of cool. The cool thing about collage is you take something out of one context and put it in another, and you see, read, understand it differently. And so in this context, it will hopefully have a Thanksgiving kind of feel, that thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So that made me then go to my text drawer and see, oh, I wonder if I should come up with some other things along that same line. And the apple may yet come back in to get back to the original starting point of this sidetrack. Not sidetrack, but riff or whatever.
Ricky says, great explanation. Thank you.
A bit more than you were counting on, I think. But
that's all right. Elaine had to go, so she said, great to see you both.
Oh, bye, Elaine, if you're still saying goodbye, if you're not gone already.
And Rebecca, it makes me so happy that you used your Bondo spreader today. She said, I tried my little Bondo spreader to apply the glued pieces to my collage today, and it worked great. It's so great for things like that, isn't it? Yeah, it's a great little tool. And so cheap and cheerful.
So, Kim, what can people expect next week at your...
That's a week away, Cal.
Yeah, sorry. What was I thinking?
Yeah. I'm sure that people, your regulars at the Collage Jam, appreciate the fact that you know in advance what the theme is, and of course it's always collage, so that
also narrows it down.
Structured and reliable. But for me, part of what I needed to do was to let my brain relax and not have to plan, not be the way I do for courses. And so I prefer being a little more spontaneous. I often know the day before the event what I'm going to do the next day, because right. It does bubble in the back of my mind. So I think last week before the event, I posted it somewhere.
Right. Yeah, you did on social media.
Yeah. Because I did gel plate printing. And I knew in advance that I was going to, so. I might work on one of my artist books in order to advance it, which is mixed media. So, but we'll see. Oh, I like that negative of around.
Yeah, so do I.
That is the magic of inversion, eh?
Yep. Something that I see in my own work a lot, and I see in students' work a lot, is especially when you work sporadically, which seems to be the only way that I work. I work in little bursts, and then I get away from it for a while, and then I come back at it, is a sort of pent-up desire to do a lot of things. So how that will often manifest is I try to put too many things into the first few ideas I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it in drawings, paintings, collages, everything. It's like, you're so excited that you're finally doing it. It's like, I got so many ideas and I want to make it so much fun. I want to have, and then it's like everything, including the kitchen sink, is in there. And so often the first piece or two is kind of like getting through that. And it's like, wow, there's a lot of stuff on that. That piece would be good with like a quarter of the content, right? Look at that. That one part there, that's a piece. But this is like, oh, overwhelmed. So
like this piece right now looks done.
I know, exactly. So, and the reason I said that was, I'm so excited about this little thank you. And I just grabbed this negative shape and I put it there and I thought, oh yeah, now that's starting to do something. I thought, okay, yeah, so maybe this should go down the edge and it could tuck behind. And as soon as I did that, it's like, So I'm realizing that great idea, maybe not this piece. So
you could break all records at our virtual collage jams by actually putting the final piece down on the collage during the jam.
During the jam. Yes, that would break all records.
There are people who've been coming for months and
have never seen something completed. Well, and it's not because I don't have a minimalist streak. I do, but I am only marginally decent at walking and chewing gum. So,
well, maybe you're getting more practice too.
Yeah. I always admire people who can talk about what they're doing and do it happily and come up with something interesting. For me, that's a lot of balls in the mental balls in the air. So,
wow. I hope you're going to show the audience.
I am going to show the audience.
Been patiently. See, Jane didn't even have to ask.
It's a refreshing change, Jane, not to have to ask this time. So I think I have to agree that the bones of that are close to being done. They may not quite be done, and I'm going to try a couple of things, but it will have to be great if I'm going to put it in, because I think right now it's doing pretty well. And what are you madly tapping away at, Kim?
So, Ricky said, I really liked the gel plate printing when she came to the virtual studio.
Right.
But somehow I can't move beyond X-Acto knife, magazines, and glue stick. So I wrote back, no worries. It's great that you enjoy collaging so much.
Yeah.
And before I start actually trying a medium or process, I often watch it for months or even years beforehand.
Right. Like on YouTube and
whatever,
Yeah.
Cherie writes, one doesn't rush perfection. You're a lucky man, Cal. And then she says, perfection may be the wrong goal. How about good things are worth the wait?
I agree. And the good things, that's sort of to decide later. You can have a sense of it sometimes, but sometimes the things I think are great when I do them, then I look the next day and it's like the gold has turned to lead. And sometimes the opposite, right? Sometimes it's like, go to bed, and then the next morning it's like, it's not so bad actually. Actually, just if I do a couple of these, and then it's done.
Yeah.
So.
And sometimes you get up and your wife says, wow, what's that fabulous thing?
I am blessed to have a very enthusiastic and encouraging wife.
Yeah. Five-minute warning.
The time it flies. I tell you. I tell you. You know, visually, I like the way the zoom is there. It doesn't make sense to me, and sometimes I like things to make sense.
Does it have to make sense?
It doesn't. It doesn't, absolutely. Like sometimes the things that don't make sense are the things that make it. But I'm looking at it thinking that, and then some sort of call and answer type-wise or message-wise would be nice, but I'm not sure that it's going to happen. You know, I thought, oh, you know, maybe there should be like a little one thank you at the bottom, or
maybe just the orange one.
Yeah, I definitely thought the orange one, because there is orange in here, so.
Jane writes, looks good, Cal. I'm sitting here with a bunch of cut-up kindergarten-made turkeys, teepees, pilgrims, native folks, etc., trying to make something of it all.
That's fun. I look forward to seeing it.
I'd love to see a photo of you with that table.
Yeah.
I bet that's amazing. It's great that you have all that to play with.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have very little that predates my teens, because during my teens, of course, I'm the one who saved the work.
Yeah.
I have a little bit, but very little before that. It's so funny. You've done a few things over the last 10 minutes that you've rejected very, very quickly.
Right.
That I thought, oh, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, now you're going to have me second guessing.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. That was not my intention.
No, I know it wasn't your intent, but you know, maybe I'm missing it by going past it so fast. You know, sometimes I start trying to be too cute. And so that's a trick.
It is.
I can see that I'm trying to triangulate sort of power pieces, whereas maybe some of the way it is the way it should be.
I think you're very attached to the idea of a text-based call and answer.
I think I'm maybe overly.
I think that the call and answer doesn't have to be text-based, in part because Zoom is almost impressionistic text when you do it like that.
Yeah.
Whereas that 400 is like a sledgehammer.
It's very unequivocal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good term for it.
Yeah.
Because here, let me hold it up for you.
No,
Is it glued?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do agree.
I'm gonna hold it up upside down.
Yeah.
It can really, sometimes it can help having a sounding board.
Oh, a lot of the times, especially when you, we all need someone to bounce ideas off of and get feedback from. It's when we go to the wrong source that we run into trouble.
Yeah.
Having someone you trust with your
as an artist.
Exactly. Because they're
loved ones can be wonderful human beings.
Yes, and they can be trusted for lots of things, but not the art. And we're blessed that for the most part we trust each other, and we also feel free enough to say, yeah, thanks, honey. I see why you say that, but I'm going to ignore it in this particular case, and we both respect that completely.
That's because we started out collaborating.
Yeah, I mean that was basically
before we were a couple.
How we started, full stop, right?
Yeah.
So I keep thinking that it needs something there, but I have not come up with the right thing yet. So I think that...
Well, it is time.
It is time, exactly. And I think it's time that gets put where I can encounter it on the mantle or otherwise. And I may end up just deciding that, it didn't need anything.
Anne has written, that is the best trick in the artistic world, to look at something upside down.
Yes, it really is. It is. Any way you can encounter something differently is really useful.
Yeah.
So flipping upside down is easy. In a mirror is also useful. Putting it away and not seeing it till the next morning. All tricks we employ a lot, right? I don't use the mirror one so much, but definitely the upside down and
encountering it.
Yeah, like we definitely. I'll stick this on the wall somewhere, and then I'll forget about it, and then I'll be walking by and go, oh yeah, right.
And something might leap out at you.
Or sometimes I'll look at it 3 times in passing and like, oh, I know that area is bugging me, but I don't know what it is. And then the 5th time or 4th time, it'll be like, and then it's like over to the studio, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Rebecca writes, I was just telling Kirk and Alin how great it was to watch the process of you working together. Aw, that's so nice.
We enjoy working together, and period. Yeah, no
Look,
way.
you got Rosie. Cherie writes, most people want it to match the couch. Yeah.
Yeah, and cost a quarter of it.
Oh yeah, don't get me started on that. We should be drawing to a nice soothing close.
Yeah. Sorry, it came out before I had a chance to edit. Yeah. Anyway, it's been lovely hanging with you on this Saturday, and it looks like the thunderstorm is held off, at least so far. So
that's good.
And so happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanks again for hanging out and making.
And thanks for coming, Ricky, too, for whom it is not Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Not yet.
Nope.
Another month.
And I look forward to seeing what you guys concoct and post on the Collage Jam group. I might even have something to post this time. That'd be kind of fun. I haven't got back to the one I started last week, 2 weeks ago, and I really liked where it was going, but it was, time. I'm trying to do a little bit of reno too.
Well, the weather's good because it's outside.
Yeah, it's a small thing, but it takes longer than, like everything, it takes longer than you think.
Val says she got 2 pieces done.
Wow. Yay, Val. So that must feel good, eh? Kind of like, ooh, yeah. So congratulations.
Anne says a soothing close is the best. Thanksgiving to you both.
Exactly. Happy Thanksgiving, Anne.
And thanks from the other Anne Wills.
Yeah.
And thank you guys from Cherie. We're thankful for you. Susan Dane, thank you guys.
Hey, Susan. Thanks so much for coming.
Afternoon. I'm so glad.
Yay.
Rebecca says, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks so much for another great Saturday afternoon.
Oh, and to you guys too. And Kirk, I know you cross-stitch, but post in the Collage Jam so we can see it.
Give us a peek.
Yeah, give us a little peek of what you've been working on since you're part of the community. So
Jane says, I'm off to a surprise 80th Zoom birthday party for her bro. Bye.
All right. Yeah, I hope the traffic's okay.
And Ricky says, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Rebecca says he will.
Excellent.
Great.
Yay.
Wonderful as always to spend time with all of you.
Yeah, and, thanks so much.
And I hope we'll see you next week.
And see you next week for the virtual studio party.
Oh my God. He got it right. Bye.
See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.